Hello, gorgeous. It's Lala Kent. Welcome to Untraditionally Lala. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome back to Untraditionally Lala. It is yours truly, and I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm gonna read your bio so you get all the cred, okay? I have Christa B. Allen. Welcome.
Thank you.
You guys know that she is an actress, musician, a content creator. She's best known for her role as young Jenna Rink in one of my most favorite movies, 13 Going on 30. That movie slaps, okay? That movie slaps so hard. Also, you were Charlotte Grayson on ABC's drama Revenge. That also, so I rewatched that like a few months ago. That also slaps.
Oh my, are you okay?
I just love you. When I met you at the iHeart party, I was like, holy fuck. Holy fuck.
No, it was like instant.
It was instant connection.
Yeah.
This blew my mind. So you're a native Californian and you're the youngest of 9 siblings. That I didn't know, and I can't wait to deep dive into that. Christa has spent much of her life in the industry. She has recently expanded her reach beyond acting over the years, writing, producing, and fronting the musical duo Pour Vous. Did I say it?
Yeah,
With
perfect.
a little sexy accent.
Très bien. Yes.
Damn.
C'est parfait. C'est magnifique.
Wow, that is gorgeous. Yeah, no, round of applause for you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
You know, the moment we met at the iHeart event, I feel like we instantly hit it off. And I believe that saying where like the eyes are the window to the soul.
Yep.
And I loved your soul.
I feel the same way. And it's not often that you have such an instant connection with someone.
No.
I instantly, I felt the same thing. I was like, wait a minute, you're super spiritual, aren't you? And you're like, the most. And then we got into the deepest topics in the first 5 minutes, and it was incredible.
It was incredible. And I felt so seen by you. Like I brought up, I think I was talking about my kids or something because you were there with your friend, Emily.
Yes.
And she was on my podcast years ago. And I just found her, I think I told you this at the party. And I told Emily this, you're the reason why one of my nightstands is full of lube. Because I asked her, what's the one thing that's so underrated? And she was like, lube.
Emily is a lube evangelist and a toy evangelist. She's really opened my eyes to that whole world as well.
Okay, like what? Like sex toys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I wasn't like opposed to them before.
Yeah.
But the way she talks about them as like a part of one's overall sex life rather than replacing something.
Right.
Just kind of integrating them into your sex life, which for me at the moment is non-existent. So I don't have to worry.
So for now, they are replacing the sex life?
Yes, yeah. They're standing in.
Yes, I love that. They're standing in. I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the sex toys, by the way. And you don't have to get too much into it because I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Well, I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable. Maybe just let me know and I'll shut the fuck up. But when you're with your person or whoever you're being intimate with, you need to have a vibrator for his balls. And then I recently ventured into dildos. I know I'm a whack job, but there's this one that the setting, it's just like, it like just moves like this, but then it has beads that then start. And then it has the hook on the top that vibrates. And I'm like, with toys that are being made like this, they will be replacing men. Truthfully, you don't even have to say anything. That's my take.
I'm open to it all. And now that we've got AI, you've got someone to talk to, you've got all the physical parts of it. What's to miss?
I mean, men should really be worried. They truly should be.
They should really be. I sat with a friend of mine the other night. He happens to be a homosexual and has a bunch of close girlfriends. And he's like, girl, everyone's turning to the other side now. Everyone has a little lesbian relationship. I'm like, really?
I know.
He's like, yeah.
They've got it figured out.
Yeah.
I'm one vagina away from that happening. Truthfully. Okay, I have to ask you about this 9 kids.
Yes. It's
What
not
in the were some oopsies, or like was this the plan for your parents? They always wanted a big family.
It's not as scary as it sounds initially because it's by marriage. So it's my mom and my stepdad.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. So my mom has 4 boys and my stepdad has 4 boys. They all are, however, older than me, which was kind of an interesting experience growing up.
Okay, so your mom came into the relationship with 4 boys and you.
Yes.
And then the stepdad, and how old were you when they got married?
I think I was 7 or 8.
Was that
Super
such
young.
How old was the oldest?
I don't know. There's quite an age difference. But yeah, he's always been in the picture. So it kind of felt like we were a family.
Yeah.
Except for we've lived in different parts of the country. So we're not like physically close, if that makes sense.
I have to imagine that they're very protective of you.
Very protective. Yeah. It created this interesting combination in me, which I kind of feel like you have a similar energy, which is like, I'm very, very tough.
Okay.
At the core, but I also was kind of treated like a princess because I was the youngest and the only girl. So I have this very like feminine, soft, delicate thing, but also don't fuck with me.
But also don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
You know, I was having a conversation the other day with how hard it is because I have a younger brother who's 32, and then my older brother from my dad's first marriage is almost 50. So, and they're so kind and sweet. And my dad was so kind and sweet. And I grew up with nothing but amazing male figures around me. But I found that when I went into the world, I was constantly having to put on alpha energy and really embrace my masculinity because in this day and age, the good men are really hard to find. They're few and far between. So I have to match male energy because I'm constantly going up against toxic masculinity. And I am dying for the day that I can embrace my feminine side again.
Well, and the thing is, you're capable of it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm capable of it too. And so that side can be brought out of you. What I've witnessed in several circumstances I've been in is, you know, when this type of man appears in my life, there might be another woman around who presents herself as completely incapable of showing up in that way, of finding that like masculine, capable part of herself.
Yeah.
And the man ends up running to save her.
Oh.
So it's almost like weaponized incompetence, female version.
Yeah.
So because you're capable, because you have that within you, they pull it out of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But if you didn't have that in you, they couldn't bring it out of you.
Wow.
I'll give you a really great example. So I was on vacation one time with my Italian prince boyfriend when I was in my early 20s.
Tell me more.
Yes, and we're having a wonderful time. And my loudmouth, as always, was posting it all over Instagram, how wonderful a time we were having at his family's castle in Italy. And another girlfriend of his at home then developed a tragic brain injury where, you know, she hit her head and was going to be unable to drive a car or hold a job ever again. She was like actively dying while we were having a great time on vacation.
Yeah.
So, you know, he had to be on the phone the whole time with her, like taking care of her, all this stuff.
Now, when you say this was a girlfriend, they were like an intimate girlfriend or like just a friend that was a girl? Intimate girlfriend.
Intimate, yes. Yeah.
Did you know that he was being intimate with other girls?
Yes, I did have explored non-monogamy at some point in my life.
Okay,
Yes.
love it.
Yeah. But then, of course, as soon as we returned from vacation, she was fine.
Oh.
Everything went completely back to normal. But a really great way to, you know, capture a man's masculinity and bring that out of him is to be completely helpless.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I find that a lot of women do it intentionally.
You know what? You're opening my eyes a lot because I have actually, and tell me if you see things differently. Men who are of a certain age, which is older than me, they say that they love like an independent woman who has their own thing going, but they actually don't. They want someone that they can take care of and baby and be the male presence, right? The younger men, because they've grown up in a different generation, actually do want the woman to like thrive on her own and be successful and have her own thing going. The older men want to save a chick. They do not do well when there is a woman who can put them in their place, who doesn't need them. It's almost like they feel like we're taking their masculinity from them. Have you found that?
I have found that time and time again. Or the other thing is they'll say they want a really powerful, capable, successful woman.
Yeah.
And then they will capture her.
Capture. I love that word.
And take all of that shine away from her and cut her off at the knees and make her unable to work or, create that same success in her life.
Yeah.
They want to take it away from her.
I talk about this all the time. Like any of my friends who are like, oh my gosh, he's going to like pay my rent and it puts me back into a place where I'm like, no. He's trying to take your independence. That's what's happening. You're looking at it like how kind and thoughtful. He's taking some pressure off of me. No. He is cutting you off at the knees.
He wants to own you and he wants to control you most of the time. Obviously, there are wonderful relationships. There are marriages that work out very well where, the man is taking the brunt of the responsibility in that department. But yeah, I found in most cases, they're trying to own you.
What experiences did you have to lead you to that thought process? Because I think at the iHeart party, we talked that you have dated people with tons of money, no money, older than you, younger than you. Like you've tried it all.
That's right. Yes. So many people know that I moved to Miami for about 3 years.
How old were you when you did that?
I just moved back in April. So that was,
So recently.
It just happened. It felt like this kind of soul mission. I was really pulled there. I didn't know why, but I really wanted to live there. And so I did, and I learned a lot. But it was interesting because just prior to leaving to Miami, I dated someone who was literally homeless. He lived in his car. I was very, very successful at the time, like just doing, amazing work on TikTok and very, very successful. And he more or less would like live with me and kind of bounce around. And then when I moved to Miami, I dated someone who was known in the community. I don't know his personal financial details. But he was known in the community as a billionaire. They would refer to him as a billionaire. It really ran the gamut, It was interesting because both of those people, the one that more or less lived with me was like, yeah, we're going to have this great life together. We're going to be creators together. I'll help you build your platform. He was a, director, cinematographer. He's like, we'll do this together. He was going to help me in that way, but then ultimately decided to just go out and date a bunch of people, like, girls on OnlyFans and like all this stuff. And then the same thing happened with the guy in Miami, like all the resources in the world, could so easily take care of me and he would offer to. And then it was like, he'd be like, come on, like move in with me, bring your bags, like get rid of your apartment, come move in with me. Had this beautiful house on the beach. And as soon as I would show up and be like, okay, I'm trusting you. You've damn near begged me to be your girlfriend. You've courted me for months. You've asked me to move in with you. And then the second I would say yes, all of a sudden he would be seen around town with other women.
What?
On dates with other women, on vacations with his family with other women. So it's like they'll get you to agree to something so that they have a woman at home, they have their primary family, and then they go or primary relationship and go and seek more.
You have like the same outlook and experiences that I have. Isn't that wild? And that's why I feel like I have to talk about it all the time. And then I find that there are women out there who are like, you're a man hater, you're scorned, you're all of these things. I'm like, you should be saying thank you. I'm giving you the roadmap, the playbook on things to look for when you go out and try to find your person so that you don't end up in a situation that you cannot get out of.
Exactly that. And it's not about being a man hater. It's about understanding what you're really dealing with. Because I think a lot of women are very naive about what's really happening.
I think so too.
They will bury their head in the sand. They're like, my husband would never, my boyfriend would never. And they don't know what's really happening. And someone like yourself and someone like myself, we've got a bit of a platform. We look a certain way. We're exposed to certain whatever experiences. And we might have a more comprehensive picture of what's happening, of, somebody sliding into our DMs with the profile photo is him and his wife smiling happily. And he's like begging to take us on a date. I don't know if you have this experience, but it's not uncommon for me.
I used to have a lot of those experiences. And then when I became very vocal about my own situation and just like, it then became something that wasn't just about my situation, but where I felt the need to to tell women like what kind of men could be among us.
Yes.
Look out for them. And all of the sudden, the man is very afraid of the law.
Right, because you spoke. Because you said something.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to observe that it's happening, and B, you're definitely not supposed to speak on it.
No. How dare you talk about it?
Then all of a sudden you're this, woman out of control. You're crazy because what did you do? You observed it and spoke about what they did. I would say to, the person I dated in Miami, he would like take this other girl on vacation or go out with her. And I'd be like, please, could you not go on vacation with another girl? And he'd be like, how dare you say that to me? You are so, you're triggered and you're unhinged because you said
what I'm doing out
the
loud.
thing that I did. I'm the crazy one because I said the thing that he did.
Were there moments where you allowed men to gaslight you and think and go, oh, this is my fault?
The thing is, Lala, you don't end up in these situations because somebody's being vague or unclear. Like when I moved back to LA, I was in love with someone. You don't move across the country for someone that's like, No, they are looking you in your eyes and saying, I've never met anyone like you. I can't wait for our future together. I can't, we would sit in the back of an Uber on the Sabbath and he'd be like, put our pictures into ChatGPT. Let's see what our future kids are going to look like. That is why you move across the country for someone.
What the fuck?
Not because he's being kind of vague. No, it's because you're making wedding plans.
Right. Could you imagine? I could never in a million years sit across from someone and know that I've got this whole life back here going on and tell them, I want you to move in with me. I want to do this for real. I could never.
Meanwhile, you're going out on dates with other people. Just say nothing.
Just say nothing.
You can just say nothing.
It's almost like a high for them. I think there's a high in the catch, and then there's a high in the getting caught, and then there's a high in trying to keep. So
it's a gamble.
It's a constant. They love the highest of highs, and then they thrive in the lowest of lows so that they can get back up again.
Yep.
It's a lot.
Yep.
And those men are alive and well, by the way. I see them all the time. I'm like, I know about you. And then I'm like, oh, you're a bitch. This is why you don't have a husband. I'm like, I don't have a husband because this is what's out there. You're in real time showing me why I don't want this.
Yes.
How did you end up with the cult leader? And please break that down for me.
Okay. So I would love to open this conversation just by saying I used some very powerful words in that TikTok.
Yeah.
And I probably should have known better as a person who has such a deep understanding of how media works.
Yeah.
That using the words cult leader would prompt a reaction. And it did. And as a result, the press really ran with it and they started writing a lot of things about that situation that I never said.
Okay.
And as a result, an organization and people that were not involved in the situation at all, and I had nothing but lovely experiences with, were kind of tied into that conversation in the press. And I just want to apologize for that.
I love that.
Because my situation was with one person.
Okay.
And the cult of personality and cult of toxicity around this situation.
Okay.
So I just want to say that.
I love that you said that. I think, so I've been in a program for my drinking today. I've been sober, 7 years sober. And
congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. It's been it's been a lot of work to.
That's beautiful.
I don't, knock on wood, I haven't craved alcohol, but in the program, which I think is beneficial for literally anybody, even if you don't struggle with addiction, because they just try to teach you own your part in things. And I think you saying that and keeping your side of the street clean is massive. And I admire you for that because words are very powerful. And, I do reality TV, whereas like you actually have a talent. I am not media trained. And so
don't undersell yourself.
I'm like,
What you do is, it is a talent and it's not easy and not everyone can do it.
well, I appreciate you saying that. And I'm still having to learn, like, when I go out and I'm talking, you know, what will the media pick up on? Because I'm just so used to like living my life and being who I am that I forget in certain moments, like, oh, this will be the headline, what I just said. It's a lot to have to censor yourself, and you can feel however you want, but don't put that out there. Or how do I change the wording? It's you do have an out of body experience. And I can only imagine when that popped up as the headline, your nervous system was shot.
Do you know, it actually doesn't affect my nervous system anymore because it's happened to me so many times in my life.
Okay.
So I was just sort of like, oh God. But it did break my heart for the people who might unintentionally be wrapped up in it that were never anything but absolutely gorgeous to me. Like beautiful people, beautiful experiences. But yeah, there is this recurrent theme, you know, where it seems like if you observe or call out bad behavior, all of a sudden you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
And it has become my platform in life or my mission in life to just remind women of how powerful they are.
Yeah.
Nothing would exist or run in the same way if it weren't for women. Nightclubs would not exist. Men would not go to clubs if the women weren't there. Restaurants would not exist in the same way if women weren't there. Like economies exist because men are trying to impress women. Like we are these goddesses that men are trying to impress.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's so easy for women to forget that and to forget their inherent connection with the divine.
Right.
And they get wrapped up in, you know, I'm sorry, I keep using this like nightclub example, but I just hear younger women, especially like, oh, he offered like me to go sit on his table or like a free meal or a trip or, you know, to go on a yacht or something. And they're like so dazzled by it, by these offerings of free things or dazzling experiences.
Yeah.
Not understanding that the only reason that whole experience has value is because the women are there.
Right.
If there are no women on the yacht, there's no yacht.
Correct. I mean, you and I have both been to nightclubs. You roll up with a bunch of men, you're not getting in.
You're not getting in.
You get one man with a bunch of women, you're all getting in. I know the drill.
But these women, they're dazzled by these experiences and they think they're being offered some gift, right?
Yeah.
Not realizing that they're actually giving up the most powerful thing that they have, which is their presence.
Wow.
And, you know, obviously a lot of women will then end up like sleeping with someone or whatever. That is like part of the deal, right? Nobody tells you that at the beginning.
No.
But it becomes apparent at some point that if you're not flirting with someone, sleeping with someone, going on a date with someone, why are you here?
Yep.
You are a product to be traded. You are a part of this economy. And so none of those experiences have any value if the woman's not there. So you're not getting anything for free. It's not free.
No, never.
You
never
are paying in your life force.
Yes. Bethany Frankel said, she used marry. If you marry for money, you pay for the rest of your life. I think anytime you do anything where the value comes in the form of $1, I'm spending money on a yacht, I'm spending money on a dinner or a nightclub experience, you are then going to have to pay, for me, with your soul. And I never realized that until I started gaining the 30,000 foot view and realizing, wow, my mom always told me And although she, I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, although she never experienced this sort of life, she always told me you continue. And my parents were very happily married, right? You always keep your independence. If
Always.
a man comes in and wants to take care of you, you continue to work. You continue to shove your pennies away. And thank God I listened to her in that moment, because a rainy day will come. You don't know what form it's going to come in, whether it's infidelity, your man hits on hard times and can't, afford the lifestyle anymore. You're at some point going to have to use your rainy day fund.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I never experienced, I always experienced like come and have the free dinner, or, you're invited on a yacht. Thank goodness. I don't know if the universe just didn't have that in store for me. Most would probably use my ex as an example, but for me, I was into him. But I did see a lot of girls who would come out and they were living these amazing, like their Instagrams were crazy. I was like, this girl lives the fucking life.
Yeah.
Cut to where we are now. She's back living in Idaho and has found a great guy, but has, I'm sure had some experiences in the big city that chewed her up and spit her out. And it's very sad to me, because you're right. You do think like, oh, they're offering this to me. You feel like it's a gift. And it's not a gift.
Yeah. Well, and it's the way it's presented to you. It's, and to me, there are so many parallels to the experiences I had growing up in Hollywood where, half of the opportunities that come your way, it's like, well, we don't have budget, but it's an amazing opportunity for you to come spend your life force energy for a week, a month, giving it to our project where we make money.
Yeah.
But not for you.
Yeah, but see,
you get to be here.
You get to be here. How lucky are you? But I feel like you, and probably myself, we become a liability to the system because we see it for what it is.
And that's why they get so angry when we speak.
Yes. So I'm wondering, because you started acting at the age of 9, you were put into, like, you said you wanted to do acting classes and you like really dove into Hollywood.
Yes.
And the lights. Did you feel like you were in the cult?
Okay. So again, the word cult was probably not the right word to use.
What would it be?
Okay. Cult of personality. I don't know. I honestly don't know the right term to use.
Okay.
All I can say is I would not have moved across the country to be with someone had there not been a very clear, trajectory for our future.
Okay.
There was it was a very beautiful relationship. And I was doing a job that was not perfect. It was not the ideal thing for me to be doing at the time, but it did pay the bills. And he gave me an ultimatum.
Okay.
That I could be with him and quit my job, or not be with him and keep my job.
Okay.
So prompted me to move, forced me to quit my job. And then I found myself in a situation where I was essentially part of a very large group.
Okay.
That I didn't know about, or I would not have moved across the country.
Right.
Consider this means selling all my stuff. I moved with my dog. Like it's a big undertaking.
Right.
And then when I got here, I found out there were all these others.
Like you, other women.
Yes.
Okay.
And periphery. But the craziest part was that everyone else seemed to be okay with it. And I don't know about you, but like, Lala, if you date someone and you guys have a sexual relationship and it's a whole thing, that man for me is off limits for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm the same way.
I don't look at that person. I don't like, that is your man, even if he's your ex, that's your thing. But there was this whole like crew of like people who were all friends and all okay with it. And then they would go on vacation and like everyone was okay with it.
I wonder if he gave everyone else the heads up, like if he was more forthcoming or if it was, I also think
I don't think so, because girls do not end up in the situation where they're moving for someone if they don't think they're the only one.
I mean, I don't know I'm saying this and we're not using his name, but to me it sounds like a grooming process was happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and these girls would watch him with not the act itself, but they would see him with girl after girl after girl and just be like, okay. And they would still go for it and still be all in, you know, which is just not me. It's just not me.
It sounds very dark.
It's very dark. And the weirdest part for me is how everyone's okay with it.
I don't think they are okay with it. I think numbing happens in however you want to take that. I think that people sink into being comfortable, like even in the unhappiest of just a cookie cutter marriage, you fall into, but I'm comfortable here. Like I know what it is, right? They got there, a grooming process happened. They have no independence. They have nowhere to go. They've sold their car.
Independence is taken from them.
Correct.
They move, they become absorbed into the ecosystem. But for me, I could not function in that world.
How quickly after you arrived did you say, no, I'm good, I'm out of here?
Well, things started happening pretty quickly. And then there was this, for example, one trip he went away and I started getting phone calls from friends, and, you know, he came back and was just crying and knocked on my door at 2 a.m. and was, I'm so sorry. Like, please, I'm so sorry. You know, and I accepted the apology, of course. And he was like, don't worry, like nothing happened. We're good. Like everything's fine. Let's just be us again. And, you know, I opened the door and I let him in.
Oh, shit.
And then find out after the fact that she was asleep, you know, another person is asleep in his bed.
While he's coming to your house.
While he's in my bed.
Oh my God.
And I just can't imagine. Like, I would not be able to sleep.
No, me neither.
Thinking that my person is in someone else's bed.
No.
I would not be able to sleep. I don't know how they function. I don't get it.
That's why I think a numbing process is happening as well. And that's just me saying, I think, you know?
Yeah.
Dude.
But then there's all this other, I mean, I believe in the power of manifestation and, you know, aligning to things that are meant for you and all this stuff. I have a very deep spiritual practice. So when we connected on that level, it was like, oh, finally somebody.
Yeah, but he probably didn't even connect with you on that level. He knew how to wrap you up.
And that's exactly it. He will look you in your eyes and say, you manifested this.
Yeah.
And then you get on the private jet.
Oh, how fun.
And he'll say, you made this happen. And then you check into the penthouse and he'll be like, aren't you powerful, Lala? You did this.
Oh, shit.
So you think, oh, I manifested this incredible situation, but it's not at all what it seems. And I think that there should be some sort of recompense in this lifetime for people who lie to the point where it like breaks someone else's reality.
Mm-hmm. You and me both. Because then you start questioning your
Everything.
spirituality and what's real. And you go through a tremendous amount of, I don't even want to say healing, but once you're removed from it, you're sitting there looking in the mirror and you don't even know who you are anymore, where your whole life was built off of the fact that you know who you are and you're spiritually in tuned. And when that is kind of taken away from you due to someone else, you have a moment of feeling like just a shell of a human. You're just a capsule.
And it's because of the lying. And so anytime I ended up in a situation like that, it always came back to my relationship with God.
Yeah.
And that's, I think for women especially.
Yeah.
If you have a spiritual practice, it is the one, saving grace in those situations.
I think so too.
And if women can just remember every day of their lives that they are connected to God. God is their business partner. God is their husband. God is their best friend, in everything they do, then these situations can't break you. They can't actually hurt you. They can't actually touch you because you are perfect, whole, and complete with your creator.
Yeah. What was your first big gig? Because it's interesting to me that you were in this environment. And I feel like men like that who are like, look at this gift I have for you. They kind of prey on the people who they haven't quite reached their goal. But you were very young when you were on 13 going on 30.
Yes. Yeah. I found incredible success very young, and I'm so grateful for that. And it obviously has propelled me in many ways to this day. But it's interesting because I really got in the industry. I was 7, and when I told my mom I wanted to do this, and my only driving force was wanting to tell stories and to connect people.
Wow. At the age of 7, that was your thought process?
I wanted to tell stories. And I would be like putting on performances in my living room, and I would require my family to come, and I would also charge them a nickel. And like,
for you. The hustle was in you from a young age.
Yeah, that Capricorn moon was shining. So that was always my goal. Like I didn't have this idea of fame or all the other aspects that play into it.
Yeah.
And so I learned about those later on, and all of that has been really hard for me. Because at the end of the day, I still just want to tell amazing stories and connect people.
Yeah.
And then you end up in all of these like silly power games and, the politics of how the whole industry works. And you're like, but I just want to tell stories.
Right. Like the 7-year-old girl still exists like deep in you where that's all you want. You're like, I don't need the flashing lights. I don't need to be famous. I just want to tell a fucking story.
Yeah. And then you have all these, and then you kind of get this success and this fame and notoriety, whatever. And you have all these people around you like, yeah, girl, you're famous. Like, doesn't it feel good to be famous? And I'm like, no, it fucking sucks. Especially if you don't have the finances to back it up. Being famous is not a pleasant experience in almost any way, except for the way that you can help people.
Right.
Nothing about it is great. Like, it's hard to keep up. You don't feel a sense of like privacy in public.
Okay.
It's only nice if you also have money.
Right. So then was 13 going on 30 your first like big, would you consider that your big break?
Yeah. Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 11 when we shot it.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So your mom obviously was with you on set.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And were you intimidated or were you just excited?
I was so intimidated. Yeah, it's like this whole new world. Yeah, None of my family was in the industry. My family are blue collar workers, so far removed. So it was very exciting.
And then after that, were you just like, I do love this. It is what I want to do. I want to live on set day in and day out.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And I loved the work ethic that it required.
There is something very magical about a set.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the actors walking, from set to their trailer with their sides in their hand and like crossing things out and talking to the director. Like, I would like to say it in this tone. It's like, it's such a beautiful collaboration.
It is. Yeah.
And I've never done anything like you, but when you got to doing series, was there a huge difference between filming a film versus a television show?
Yes, for me, yes. The difference between film and TV is film has an end date.
Okay.
Which I really love. You know where the stories go. You know the whole story.
Yeah.
You know your character arc. Some TV shows that are also pre-written as well, but a film has an end date. It's almost like life really only has so much meaning because you know it's going to end.
Yeah.
Makes it really beautiful. Like, it's finite. And a TV show could go on forever.
Right.
Could keep going. And I have so much respect for the people who end up on shows for like 10 years, whatever. But often it cultivates this feeling of like, people just get tired, they get burnt out. Like it's, if you live for 2,000 years, at some point you'd be like, I'm tired.
Right.
Like, I'm just tired. I've seen it all. I've done it all. Where else can we go with this? So TV can be a bit like it's work, and there's not always a finite end date. For some shows, yes, but I like the finite experience of doing a film.
So remind me, how did you die in Revenge?
She was sent to rehab.
Was that like your final?
And then she came back. No, she didn't die.
But you were sent somewhere. You were sent to rehab.
She was sent to rehab, yes.
But was your story finished?
No, she came back for the last episode. Yeah, Charlotte kind of wrapped the whole thing up. Charlotte was like a secret little mastermind on that show.
Yeah. She brought cunty energy and I loved it. I loved it. She was fantastic. Just the way that she would maneuver and just like that like East Coast wealth. Anytime it's a part of a television show, I eat that shit up. It's so good. I'm actually going to watch that tonight.
Where are you from?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. So have you spent much time on the East Coast?
I mean, just like going out to New York and doing like little gigs. But I mean, I've never been to the Hamptons.
Neither have I.
How wild is that? Yes.
Let's go.
Take me somewhere cool.
Lala and Christa, take the Hamptons.
Please. I don't know why why we never traveled there. It was always like, I tend to gravitate towards like warm, cozy beaches.
Yeah.
Not
tropical.
Like tropical. Yeah. Take me somewhere where it's like swimsuits, tan skin, not like the linens and flowy dresses. But now as I'm getting older, I'm like, I want the bouge. I want the bouginess.
Yes.
Don't you think?
The comfort.
Yeah. I want like the Hamptons looking home. And I want you to take me to like a crab bake or whatever the fuck those things are. You know what I'm talking about? Or a clam bake. Crab bake.
It's funny. We would always use that. There was an episode of Revenge where we did a clam bake. And for some reason, it was such a hard episode to shoot. Like things were just like dragging on. Nothing was working. And we'd be like, clam bake. And then that became the joke for the rest of the series. We'd be like, clam bake. Anytime something wasn't working. Like, clam bake.
Love it. Love the inside jokes that develop on set. It's so fun. I do want to talk to you about this musical, Pour Vous.
Yes.
So have you always been into like the theater?
I love music.
Okay. All music?
Yes. I'm very into sound healing. And I think the future of medicine is in frequency and vibration. And I don't know if you've seen the videos in India where they like heal people's broken bones with sound. And the whole future of healing is going towards frequency.
Okay.
Anyway, that aside, obviously I just love music. Who doesn't? But I had my former fiance was a music producer.
Okay.
So it was the perfect opportunity to realize my long held dreams of being in a band. So we had a little band.
Are you joking?
No.
You're in a band?
Well, yeah, it doesn't exist any longer, but.
But what did you do in the band? Instruments, vocals?
So we wrote the songs and I sang them and he produced the music.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you still in communication with him? Like you stayed friends?
We have stayed friends. We've stayed friends this whole time. He recently got engaged again, so
okay, boundary.
Yeah, it's a boundary. But yeah, so much love for him.
Who is your favorite musician? Would you say?
Ooh, immediately Bowie comes to mind.
Okay,
I don't know why that. Prince, like I love musicians who use their music to convey something like deeper,
Yeah, I totally get that. I have to say right now, I'm really bumping Cardi B's new album.
Yes!
I cannot
get
enough. She has this song with Lizzo and Lizzo's part is, I do think I'm a nut. For Non-Blondes, What's Up?
Okay.
And it is
Bitches don't shit and they can't say nothing. Honey motherfucker can't tell me. Yeah, then you have to sing that part.
I only know the
cry
sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out. What's in my head, and I'm feeling
a little peculiar. And so I wake
in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? Oh my God, we're so fucking good. We have to karaoke together, please.
Done. Anytime.
Holy shit, I'm so horny now.
Are we falling in love?
Yes, I love this.
Wait, what's your go-to karaoke song?
What's Up is my go-to karaoke song. However, I've been working with my his name's Jared. He's big and gay and fabulous, and we're going to perform Shallow. We're working on it. We're working on it. I will not give you a preview because we're not quite there.
Okay, later when the cameras
when the cameras are down. But I'm totally inviting you because I love the moment we just shared.
Yeah,
I don't know what it sounds like, but my cup is full. So I want to know, when you heard that you were going to portray the Jennifer Garner, what did you experience when you got the call?
I screamed and ran around the house, and I don't think I've ever been so excited or grateful in my life.
Really?
Yeah. But it also, everything felt so right. You're super spiritual. You'll understand. I think that everything that happens in our lives is supposed to. Anything that is meant for you will be for you. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. And if it's not for you, there's nothing you can do to make it be yours.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It felt so right.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for the projects I've been able to be a part of because they feel right for me.
Totally.
And even in the periods, I've had obviously long periods where I haven't worked. And it feels like that's part of the story too. I know I will again, and I'm not worried.
I always say I feel like our stories were written in the stars well before we even arrived. There was a plan, and even when something doesn't make sense, and I also follow it up with, this may be something that I just tell myself to make myself feel better about the circumstances. And I believe that rejection is God's protection. I learned from, her name's Amber. She's my sister wife. We share a baby daddy, but she said, I don't want anything that's not mine. And I was like, you can want something so badly. And if it doesn't happen for you, you have to just know it's not yours. How can you want something that isn't supposed to be yours?
Right. And you may get it even. You could strong arm your way into getting it, but it won't be blessed.
No. And I love that you said that, because when I continue to fight for something and I continue to be blocked, I take a step back and I say, I'm not fighting for this anymore.
Yeah.
Because there is a reason, and my higher power is showing me over and over again that it's not meant to be. And if I continue fighting for it, I will get it, and it's going to go to shit.
Yeah. It will almost punish you.
Yes.
You wanted it? Have it.
Here you go. I did everything I could possibly do to show you that this is not right.
Yes.
And you continue to go against me.
Yes.
We are so in sync, dude. I can't even tell you. What was your relationship like with, I feel like I can't call her Jennifer Garner on each, on the set? Was it I feel just knowing myself at 11, the age that you were when you were there, just intimidated by life. I have to imagine you were way more confident. But what was she like to you?
I was nervous, but I've also just always been very bubbly. So,
which is perfect, because I feel like every time I see Jennifer Garner trying to give me a Capital One card, I'm like, I'm getting it. She's so bubbly.
And that's really who she is. And, my experience of her was so beautiful. She was such a great mentor to me. She understood that I was a baby and I needed guidance, and we didn't spend a whole lot of time on set together because we were playing the same character. So we didn't share scenes.
Right.
But the interactions we did have, she was so beautifully just helpful and warm and supportive.
Yeah.
And to this day, I don't experience a whole lot of that in the industry. Even people who are like very close friends, like when it comes down to it, they don't actually support you. They will turn the other cheek. But with her, there was a warmth and a guidance, and I just hope to also be that to women. And Jennifer Garner really had a way of like just being kind and warm and welcoming and helpful, no matter what the situation was.
Have you been on set with younger children where you've kind of taken on how she treated you when you were in that situation?
Thank you for, you tied that together beautifully. Yeah. So yes. And that's what how I want to show up for women now.
Yeah.
In other words, I think sometimes there's like this tension between people for no reason.
Yeah.
And if we all are just a little more mindful and there for each other and helpful, like we can overcome those situations and those miscommunications. And she really taught me that. And not even in like a specific thing that she did, but just her presence.
The presence. Yes, the vibration.
Yes.
I'm all about the vibration.
She's not competitive. Women, especially in this industry, can be very competitive and very petty and spiteful. She's not. She's just warm and kind.
So wild that you say that, because so often as I'm doing reality TV, I'm like, I should have tried harder as an actress, because I bet that industry, they just like uplift each other and it's kind and nice and they're all about their craft. You saying that makes me feel like, oh, it's the same type of reality that I'm living. That portion just isn't documented.
Yeah. I shared recently, I started a Substack.
Okay.
And in my first post, I shared the experience I had on a set where the cast was sharing a small cabin with not secured Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And it resulted in basically somebody hacking into my iCloud and leaking everything in my iCloud because there was tension on set. And that happened when I was in my mid-20s. And it started this sort of like snowball effect in my life where like suddenly my nudes were on the internet.
What?
So all of my boundaries were violated. That floodgate was open, and not by choice.
I am so sorry.
So these things, it definitely happens on set.
So it gets dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And 20, when you think about, like, I go back to me being in my 20s, and it's like, although I'm not a baby, when I'm dealing with someone in their 20s, they're young. It's a very vulnerable stage of life, because you're looked at as someone who's supposed to be an adult, but your frontal lobe hasn't even fully formed. It's a lot. I can't even imagine that happening to me. Not by choice.
All of a sudden, I'm like getting phone calls from my parents, like,
you poor.
Like that was not
me
intended. Yeah.
Wow. Do you text or talk to Jen Garner? Jen.
No, we've never had like a friendship in that way, because
we were so young.
Yeah, when we met, I was a child and she was an adult. But she has like very kindly sent me messages for my 30th birthday and things like that.
Oh,
so
I love that.
Yeah, she's really lovely and supportive.
Have you ever heard that they would do a sequel to 13 going on 30?
Everyone is requesting it. So,
well, they need to do it.
Whoever owns that IP, you're just sitting on a gold mine there.
Right?
Sony. So
get on it. Mark, is it Ruffalo or Ruffalo? He doesn't fucking age. He looks like the same human. He could play your boyfriend in the sequel.
But you know what they did do is they made a musical.
They did the musical. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, it just opened in Manchester in the UK. By the way, and that also went viral. They posted about the musical, 10 million views.
Shut the front
this
door.
This thing has endless gas. Like, so people just want to see this story.
You should be in that.
Girl, I agree.
Yeah.
That was my audition, by the way.
You have
our
to.
Song.
Okay, so it opened in Manchester. That means it's not on Bravo in New York yet.
Broadway,
right?
Yeah.
What did I say? Bravo? Bravo. We know where I am. I'm on Bravo. It's not on Broadway. Broadway. I'm like, where am I? It's not on Broadway in New York yet. So this is me telling Broadway. that you have
Give
to be
my
in it.
regards to Broadway.
With all of that beauty that you just put out into the universe, and I really hope that all of my listeners take that with them today. What is next for you?
I'm launching my own podcast.
Yay!
Yes. Yes.
Amazing. What is the podcast called?
It's called Pray Date.
Okay. I love this.
A
And
play on the word.
what is Pray Date about?
Pray Date is your commitment
Okay.
to yourself and your connection with the divine. So,
Do you have a co-host on this?
yes,
Who's the co-host?
Victoria Daniel.
Did I meet her at the iHeart party?
You did, yeah.
I loved her too. I
Yeah.
know exactly what you're talking about. I got her contact. When can we find your podcast, Pray Date, and where?
Pray Date launches on 11/11.
Oh, one of my most favorite dates.
Yes, I've got it here.
I love it.
Yes, and it'll be everywhere you find your podcasts.
Perfect.
Spotify, Apple.
I'm really excited about that.
Thank you.
You guys, I love you so much. Thank you for listening to another episode of Untraditionally Lala. I'm going to catch you guys on Monday for the bonus and again next week. Bye.